We have some good news in a week that has had very little good news. It is believed that the suspect in the Charlie Kirk murder has now been brought into custody. And the governor of Utah, Spencer Cox, gave details about this at a press conference this morning. Take a look.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him. On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate.
Okay, so there are more details, including some initial hints that were presented at the press conference and some that are surfacing online as to possible motivations or ideology, which we'll be digging into. But other details were presented by Kash Patel. He came up and he said the arrest is testament to dedication of good law enforcement being great. And then he said that he would meet Charlie Kirk in Valhalla. I don't know what that is in reference to. I don't know if that's a Mad Max thing or a 4chan thing. I don't know. Kash Patel is a very, very strange person. And this is a good thing that they found the guy, because there was always the worry that he could attack someone else. And obviously, even if he wasn't going to, there has to be justice for this horrific act. And so that's good news. And thank you to everybody who was involved in getting him. I do want to just briefly point out that Kash Patel is like declaring victory, and I understand why he would. He's been getting a lot of pressure over the past few days for appearing to not know what he's doing. And I think the reason that appearance was there is that he has no idea what he's doing. He's not qualified for the position. It was an absurd thing to put him in charge of the FBI, and they didn't get him. The family turned him in, and thank God they did. And by the way, maybe they would have gotten him anyway in an hour or a day or a week. But it's not like Kash Patel tracked him down. No, they put Kash Patel and a right-wing podcaster in charge of the FBI. They fired people with decades of collective experience as agents in the FBI because of concerns about DEI and wokeness and stuff like that. The FBI is a shell of what it was, and thank God the family turned him in, because this could have been much worse. Now, we're gonna turn in a minute to other information that was acquired, but Waz, this is your first chance coming on to talk about this entire incident. Thankfully, they found the guy. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I echo your sentiments. Obviously, it's excellent that this kid was found and brought to justice and nobody else will be hurt. I think that's a good thing. Now, as far as that press conference and Kash Patel like wanting to take a victory lap for something he didn't do, they took a while to release this guy's image. They had the images. They didn't release him immediately for whatever reason. Kash Patel erroneously tweeted earlier that they had a suspect in custody. We got the guy. Then had to be like, oh, we let the guy go. He had nothing to do with this. He was a bit of a clown show. I do want to give credit to this kid's family for turning him in. You wonder what kind of young man they're raising, but at the same time, I hesitate to blame families and parents, when the internet being the cesspool that it is these days.
Yeah, 100%. Especially we need more time to know. And so, yeah, 100%. Again, this is good news. And I thought, back on Wednesday when I was on the Young Turks, at that point, it had been announced they have the suspect or whatever. And we were like, oh, thank God. Out of all of this horribleness, at least they got, but no, like they fumbled and bumbled it. They didn't put out the image, and maybe they had a good reason. I know as little about how to conduct this sort of investigation as Kash Patel and Dan Bongino do, unfortunately. But it seems like they fumbled it. I know I saw earlier today, Steve Bannon was like putting pressure on him. It seems like a lot of MAGA people want Kash Patel out of this position, and he should have never been in this position. This dude was writing like kids' books, like worshiping Donald Trump. He's there because he's a lackey. It's the only reason. Trump saw him on TV or whatever, He seemed really deferential. He sucked up to Trump for a few years. But this is a reminder that the work of the FBI is not like fun and games and shenanigans online. It's serious stuff. I did a story that's going out for the members later today about a white supremacist who tried to blow up a Nashville power substation with C4 strapped to a drone. And it didn't succeed because the FBI stopped him. That's how important the work of the FBI is. And that was last year. The FBI isn't what it was last year. And so hopefully that never matters. And the gutting of the FBI, the defunding of the FBI and all that never creates an opening for someone to do something terrible. But we got to get serious people back on these jobs, and Kash Patel is not a serious person.